Morning class 7, Patanjali Rishikul. So children, we have already started with the chapter fibers, and we have done one fiber, one animal fiber, that is wool, and you all already know that we get wool from sheep. So in that we have seen various processes like shearing, scouring, then weaving. So we have already seen that how we obtain wool fiber from sheep, okay? And there are various other animals also that give us wool. So children, today we are going to study about another fiber, that is silk, okay? Now before starting with silk, first of all you should be familiar with the term sericulture, okay? Now children, you have already done apiculture, pisciculture in class 6. Apiculture is the science of raising honeybees. It is apiculture. The science of raising fish is pisciculture, okay? So they are also parts of agriculture only. In the same way, this sericulture is also a part of agriculture. So children, agriculture is not just raising of the crops. It is raising of the animals also, okay? So what is sericulture? The science of raising silkworms to get silk, okay? To get silk cocoons is called sericulture. So now we will see that how we get these silk cocoons, okay? So children, in primary classes you have studied about butterfly, the life cycle of butterfly, and you also know that what is moth, M-O-T-H, moth, and they both are very similar to each other, butterfly and moth. So children, this silk cocoon we actually get from silk moth, okay? Now the structure of the moth is just like a butterfly, okay? But moths are little dull in color. They are not brightly colored like butterflies, okay? So we are going to see that how we get these silk cocoons from silk moth. So for that we have to see the life cycle of a silk moth. Now what is silk moth? Silk moth is that moth that gives us silk cocoon, okay? And the scientific name of silk moth is Bombyx mori. This is scientific name. Now children, whenever we write scientific name, in the first word the first letter should be capital, in the second word first letter should be small. So just take care while writing this. It is Bombyx mori. B should be capital, M should be small, okay? Now let's see the life cycle of a silk moth. Now children, silk moth lays eggs only on mulberry leaves, okay? So they find mulberry plant and they lay eggs only on mulberry leaf, not on any other plant, okay? At a time, they can lay about 100 eggs together, okay? Now after few weeks, from these eggs small white caterpillar comes out, okay? Just like in case of butterfly. So small caterpillars, they come out of these eggs, okay? And these caterpillars are white in color. They are called as silkworm or white larva, okay? White larva or silkworm. So you may call it white caterpillar or silkworm or white larva, okay? Now children, why we are calling it as silkworm? Because these silkworms or these caterpillars only, they secrete silk fiber, okay? And how they secrete silk fiber, let's see. Now children, these caterpillars, they eat these mulberry leaves, okay? They only feed on these mulberry leaves and they feed on it for about 4 to 6 weeks, okay? Now after feeding the mulberry leaves, when they feed it for about 4 weeks, then from their mouth, there is salivary gland in our mouth also. So just like our salivary gland, they also have salivary glands, okay? Actually they don't have proper salivary glands like human beings, but they secrete saliva from their mouth, okay? So with the help of saliva, they secrete silk fibers. They secrete silk fibers. Okay? And these silk fibers are secreted by the silkworm only after about 4 weeks, when they are, extremely full. They have completed, their feeding completely. Now, these silk fibers, they are coiled around these caterpillars. Okay? So they keep on secreting the silk fibers. Okay? And these silk fibers, they are very sticky. Okay? So gradually these silk fibers, they cover the whole larva. Okay? And ultimately these silk fibers, they become very hard and they form a shell-like structure called as cocoon. Okay? So inside this cocoon, what is present? Larva is present. Okay? So actually this silk cocoon is made up of silk fibers. Okay? So it is secreted with the help of saliva, and when it comes in contact with air, it becomes hard. Okay? So these silk cocoons are made up of silk fibers. Now children, when these silk cocoons, they are formed completely, after few weeks, these cocoons are broken down and a full, silk moth comes out of these cocoons. Okay? A baby silk moth comes out from these cocoons. So actually children, in sericulture, farmers, they collect this cocoon only. Okay? These cocoons are collected by farmers. Okay? And then farmers, they boil it. Okay? Why they boil it? To remove the gummy sticky substance that is stick around these fibers. Okay? When they boil it, then they get the silk fibers. Okay? But children, farmers, they leave some of the cocoons. They don't, they don't boil all the cocoons. Because why they leave some of the cocoons? So that for next life cycle, they may get some silk moth, and these silk moth may again lay eggs. Okay? So they collect some cocoons and they boil it to get silk fibers, and they leave other cocoons so that they may get silk moth again from it. Okay? So this is the complete life cycle of a silk moth. So here this caterpillar or silkworm, okay, plays very important role, because with the help of its saliva, it secretes silk fiber. So this caterpillar is called as silkworm. Okay? Now children, you have to remember some points, like a female silk moth lays about 100 eggs at a time. Okay? So at a time, it can lay about 100 eggs. After hatching, larvae feed on mulberry leaves for about 4 to 6 weeks. Okay? So before forming this cocoon, larva keeps on feeding on mulberry leaf for about 4 to 6 weeks. Okay? Now children, in our next class we will see that what are the occupational hazards of silk industry. Okay? Thank you.